Hey guys, Near here, and today we're going to be kind of doing a little bit of a teaser or a showcase, as you will, of Season 10 and why I think this is such a wondrous thing, driving the Radical SR3 for an entire season as we come through the final corner now, coming across the line, and we're 1.25 seconds up, which puts us mid-pack, which is kind of where I expected to be anyway. But we want to go for more here on Near Fear, the channel. So we try and push the envelope into turn number 2, and we can't quite get it right. So we're now coming around into turn 4. Very nice and tidy, carrying the speed down turn 5 on the entry to the second sector of Lawfield. And so far, the lap looks neat and tidy. It's a little bit better than my previous lap, so kudos to that, as we go 1/10.5 quicker in Sector 1. Then in Sector 2 here, this corner that I failed to find the name for in my brain. I'm not very good at it in any sim I encounter. I just never get the weight transfer quite right. But we're going to come past the old pit straight into this really fast-flowing right-hander that we seem to nail fairly well compared to some of the competitors in the midfield, so I was quite proud of that when I did it. And then we're coming through Beckett's, and now the entry into Cops that I couldn't quite get right the entire qualifying session. I still had a bit of push coming into Cops as well, which does continue through the race, but as you can see, we're still almost 5/10 up on our previous lap, so I'm kind of bustling with joy because I'm thinking, hey, I might be able to overtake Blind Jesus for 6th place. So we're coming into the final set of turns now. Very, very neat, but I felt like I could have carried a bit more speed there. I'm being very cautious in this final sector just so that I don't lose any more speed here in qualifying. We're going to come around the final corner now onto the actual pit straight, and we've gotten 7/10 up, which is pretty good, just ahead of Blind Jesus, just behind Scott Mick, and we're doing pretty good. Crazy Dog sniped the pole. Sinister coming in.
I can't get it yet.
Yeah.
That's what I get for coming in without practice.
Me freaking out that I didn't come in without practice, but Sinister in second, no, not in third, Bullet in fourth, and we're going to cut on straight to the race. So the format for this season, as I botched the start and then realized that I'm going to have to learn a new start procedure, is that we're still keeping the formation lap from Season 9, but we're adding a standing start for these little cars. Now, this is the first race I've ever done in this car officially for any of the practice sessions, so I'm having a difficult time learning this. I was having a difficult time learning starts. I was trying to keep all of the temperatures right for the start, which I didn't quite match correctly. Toward the end, the tires did get a bit on the cold side, and it did kind of hamper me a bit going into the first actual lap. But we're here now, coming on to the start straight, and we're all lining up on our grid spot. I'm in 6th position. All of the even cars are on the right, the odd cars on the left, since the leader chooses, and we're just trying not to overshoot our pit spot and run into the back of Bullet, which would not be a great day. So we found a grid spot. We're trying to get ready for the start, trying to find that proper RPM to release the Kraken and go as we get the call.
Yep.
Alright, Crazy Dog. You got the red, green.
Alright, all cars. Red, green.
And as the game takes over my clutch, I get an absolutely shocking start off the line. Blind Jesus goes ahead of me, and then right after Blind Jesus goes ahead of me, Mech Zero sneaks up the inside in the Marlboro McLaren Honda car. We dive it back down the inside to see if we can retake the position before anything crazy happens, but it is no use. Meg Zero is holding onto the inside, coming through this fast left-hander, and he's drifted wide, which is forcing me to check up on him. We're going to see if we can go around the outside. We've got the speed, but we brake slightly too early. Meg Zero diving down the inside, covering me off, and taking the position for 7th place. So we've now gone back 2 positions in this race, and unfortunately we're now stuck. We're now stuck behind one of the best blockers of all time. So, the race is on. We have to try and get back at Mech Zero as I lose a bit of the rear end once again there. We're going to see if we can carry some speed into Maggots and Beckett's. And we carry some into Beckett's and we lose it coming into Cops. That's going to drop our speed for certain. And then we're losing all the speed down the straightaway. Meanwhile, Static Energy in that Tide-looking vehicle is going to come down our inside. We're going to give him the room, and we're going to try and go around the outside, which seems to be the faster line from what I understood. He backs out of it because there's not a whole lot of room there, and we retake 8th position, defending massively as Mech Zero has an incident, which throws us off in terms of the braking zone as we lose the rear end twice around the double right-handers that are the final corner. And that's going to be the first lap of the race, which was pretty sketchy, I do have to say. But we seem to be holding ourselves together quite well this early on. So we're coming through into Sector 2. Will we be able to nail the exit? It seems like we do. We're getting the slipstream down this mini front stretch that with Formula 1 would have DRS. In this game, it's always DRS everywhere. Here, we don't have DRS. We brake a wee bit early to try not to upset the rear end too much, and we come into the next corner and lose the rear end. Almost throw it into the gravel, and that's pretty much our run killed for the next section. So we're going to cut on to the next clip. We're still on the end of lap 3, catching up to the back of Mech Zero, and whoo, look at that tail wobble he got there. But we're coming around the final corner. He's lost a ton of speed from that just one small maneuver that he corrected quite promptly, if I do say so myself. But we're right on the back of him now from that, getting a bit of arrow push being so close. We're going to see if we can dive it down the inside. We brake a little bit early because I think we recognized the brake lights beforehand and decided against the move. Static tries to dive it up the inside. I don't leave the room for that because he was far back. And we're going to see if we can track Mech Zero down in this next corner because we're still in slipstream distance. So we have a shout there, and we ruin it by braking super early. I wasn't sure where Mech Zero was going to brake for that, so we decided to be cautious. And we screw up a run again into this right-hander around Lawfield. I can never get that corner right, no matter what sim I'm going into. We're going to cut on over to the next section. I get a very poor run out of Chapel. And Static Energy is going to go up on the inside, and we're going to give him the room because we feel like the outside line is the better line to take as we screw it up. And
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
I definitely screwed the pooch by letting him by, but we're going to try and rectify that by diving it down the inside, completely making the corner. No qualm there. Get a little bit of oversteer, and up we go back into 8th place to Static Energy's dismay. That was a brilliant move that he managed to pull off. Managed to catch me on my mistakes, and that is how you do this here on PRD as we're coming through the first sector. So we're going to cut on over to the next clip. We're coming through the 3rd sector here. Well, the 2nd into 3rd sector. We're trying to get as much speed as we can. We're on the back of Mech Zero on the exit of Chapel. We're going to see if we can sniff up a move. He goes to defend from the outside. We're going to take a note from Static's book, and we're going to dive it straight down the inside. We get alongside him, but we just can't carry enough speed as we're almost side by side. He's definitely in front of us here, so we're going to be a little cautious into the braking zone. We're not going to run him over, although we know we can brake later. We won't really, and we get a kick of oversteer, which throws us back down the order, down this long front stretch into this right-hander, which is fairly unfortunate for us, but fairly good for Mech Zero, the best defender of all time. So we're coming into Lawfield now, coming through the right-hander that I am absolutely terrible at. Do we get a good exit? We get a decent exit for once. We're coming down the slipstream and what? Oh no. The battle was ruined! His game ended up crashing, PC problems, gearbox problems, whatever we want to call it, and we are now easily up into the 7th position. So, a battle that has lasted legitimately half of the race is now ended by technical problems. As we are now going to cut over into the beginning of lap 7, and oh no, what's this? What's going on here? It looks as if someone's stricken. Who is it? It is Bullet! Bullet has had an incident. And apparently No Not Really has seen said incident, but we're gonna see if we can capitalize on this incident while he's out of the groove. See if we can put enough pressure on him that we can retake 6th place and not feel like idiots for botching the start. So we're on to the next clip here. We get a very good run out of the fast right-hander in Sector 2. We're gonna go through Maggots, and then Beckett's, and then the Super Chapel, and we completely understeer, which causes us to lose all of the momentum we had, and he's gonna just kind of walk away from us now. Typically, someone's probably recovered at this point in time, if they haven't already, in terms of just trying to get the rhythm back together. It typically only takes 1 to 3 laps. Bullet still seems pretty dicey. Can we close up to him? We've closed up a lot, but it's not enough to be convincing as we come through the final corner, and he's just blitzed the exit. He's gone. I think that's a wrap right there. We're going to see what we can do, but I don't know. So here we are in the final lap of the race, and of course, we haven't gone anywhere. We're still in touch with Bullet and now Blind Jesus, who overtook us on the start, but they're too far ahead. They're about 2 seconds ahead in the final sector, which I'm not going to make that up, in about 5 corners. So that's pretty much race done for this instance. I'm having a little bit more enjoyment watching these two battle up ahead, but yeah, if you like more content like this, or races like this, or anything of the like, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.